for SalesMind, how often does your client update the package, if you will, the training data?
Knowledge base.
And is it self-learning with memory, or is it clients coming in? Who does that?
So before it was the client that had to update and validate what the AI was generated. Now we have started to make the model learn by itself and improve the machine over time based on the result that it gets itself. This is the very beginning of that. The product needs still improvement and iteration based on that and how we can improve the auto optimization. But this is really exciting to see that now, based on the result, the AI can get better by itself.
Yeah. Okay, so now we get to sort of the technology. This is the I think in my view for any sales to any agent, the ability for the AI to have memory, right? And if you're through SalesMind, if you're doing 150, 200 outreaches per day, you're getting objections, you're getting yeses, the ability to sort of learn from this and then propose to the client how to improve your product or your sales pitch. That is just amazing, right? And again, with the memory, it will become infinitely better than a human, just because humans cannot process 190 every single day. So talk to us about that. Maybe as you do that, and talk about us about how your agent is learning and improving. If not yet, how you plan to do that, and then how does the tech stack work?
Basically, we build RAG for some of the purpose, and then we increase and add the objection database of the knowledge base of the agent that have access to it for getting new objection. And then basically each reply we get is reassessing. Do we need to reassess the strategy based on that reply? And then the AI decides by itself, yes, it is useful for me to understand better the product, understand better the prospecting, understand better the lead itself or the segment that it lead is belonging to. And then basically it improves the knowledge base that will have an impact on the next conversation and the next activities, basically.
And is that live?
We are at the very beginning of it, so we have started to work on that. This is not released yet on production. This is still on beta testing from our end, but we have started to work on that.
So at this point, the current product, if I'm prospecting 100, 200 a day, Julian, are you giving feedback to me as a client? Because you have the transcript, you have the conversations, right? So if it doesn't automatically give me feedback, are you able to download that into some kind of Excel, feed it to some kind of agent, and then summarize it on a weekly basis? Are you offering that service right now, or is that eventually going to be offered as an automated feedback system?
No, we do. What kind of feedback do you have in mind?
For example, if SalesMind is prospecting 100 people and 50 came back saying they like this and they don't like this, and 20 says, the price is too high, whatever, right? I don't really have time as a client to look at 100 transcripts, but you can summarize that for me, right? And you can say out of the 100, 20% love the product, but they would wish for an average 20% discount or whatever, right? I as a client, I would want that. And it seems to me the data can be digested easily by your agent to give me that feedback. I'm just curious if that's offered, whether it's manual or it's coming.
So we do not have that precision yet. We're able to tell you, okay, you have like 10, 20 people that are interested, 70 people that are skeptical and whatever.
Gotcha.
So we are able at that point to do that. But the feedback out of the interested people, like 5% were expecting a lower price. We're not having that yet. But I take the note, and as a good product manager, I'm going to add that to the roadmap at some point.
Okay. I mean, it just seems to make sense, right? Especially as you scale this up. Gotcha. Can you tell us about the technology, the tech stack? What are you using? What's proprietary? How defensible it is?
The way how we plan to achieve that is by starting getting integrated into people workflow. And that's why we're switching slightly the audience that we are targeting, is because we know that agency, B2B marketing agency and lead generation agency, they will start putting workflow in their client processes. And that's where we want SalesMind to start being, not only an interface, not only the agent that can perform the task when you ask him, but being integrating on workflow and interacting with the application and the knowledge base that we have about people and company. So the technology that we're using is fairly simple, right? Node.js and React to build the thing. But my CTO can talk much more about that. So I don't have a very comprehensive uh, overview of what are all the tools that we're using, all the languages that we're using for the application. We have among 10 different microservices and so on. The tech team is really working hard on that.
How easily replicable is it, if somebody were to basically come out with a competing product? What's in your sauce, technology or distribution or something that would prevent somebody else from offering something that's $49 a month?
The way how we see that is by having a very comprehensive solution. Like we see so many different use cases. We even have like now clients and people on call that trying to ask us what are the difference between myself and their self doing workflow on N8N and whatever. And the answer is fairly simple. Either you want to build and spend time to actually build your own workflow and put resources out there. So it's actually very cost intensive. You need to have the knowledge, have the people inside and so on. So you can start maybe in 3 weeks if you are fast enough, or you can start with us tomorrow. Now, if a company wants to start exactly the same as what we have now, and do the same product as a product to resell and set that 49, that will be very challenging because we currently have over 10 million profile in our database that we understand how to communicate efficiently, and every single messages that we're having with those person make the system smarter. So each message make the system and the agent more likely to succeed the next time you send a message. So the data that we're processing about people and profile in the business environment make us a little bit smarter all the time. And I believe that what's going to make hard for people to catch up from this interface perspective. Next will be to get integrated in people workflow, like when you plug your CRM for something and whatever, like sending directly the work to the human, where salesman say, "Hey, I have a good lead for you. It need a human intervention. It needs to get on a call or whatever." Like we aim to get irreplaceable by value as well. If we make your business survive or even strive because we send you enough lead to fill your pipeline and grow your revenue, you will never be able to leave us.
So for the audience, we love featuring tools that actually work, and it looks to me like giving you value. You've done 3 million plus messages, and the value proposition to a client, Julian, and feel free to correct me, is for less than $100 a month, right? You can with SalesMind maybe spend a few hours training SalesMind's agent, and then send out 150, 200. Almost 200 per day to prospects, and your history shows that you're getting a 42% reply rate, right? Then you can then converse and maybe take it off LinkedIn to whatever you're selling. It could be selling a financial service, selling a software, whatever it is. And if you then divide that, $100 a month by 150 a day times 30 days times 42%, it's an extremely cheap pain-free way of getting prospects. Would you say is that sort of the value add? It's getting that prospect, right? It's extremely
Yes.
inexpensive and quite automated. It's beautiful.
Amazing. I think you rephrased it and you nail it very effectively, right? The cost of acquisition, customer acquisition cost for SalesMind is currently $9 per client that is
$9.
actually
Okay.
paying. So very cheap,
And
right?
sorry,
B2B
so how
we
did you get that
usually
number? And
upsell.
what do you mean by cost of acquisition? Because a reply is not acquisition. A reply is a reply. When you say acquisition, does that mean actually buying the service?
Yes. So
I see.
customer acquisition cost for us is $9 because we eat our own dog food. We use SalesMind to prospect and generate
Oh,
meetings
this is
for
for
ourselves.
SalesMind. For SalesMind, I see. I
Yes, for
see. Okay,
SalesMind itself. We cannot
gotcha.
we cannot know that effectively for all the users, but for SalesMind, we monitor that.
So you mentioned fundraising. To the extent you're comfortable, have you raised money? What round are you at, and what's the plan once you've got the money?
So we raised pre-seed with a venture studio. So basically, they are providing now the entire development team for years. So that has been significantly improving the quality of the product, the speed of the delivery that we were able to do as well. So we've passed that. Now we're raising seed, and the way how we plan to spend the money from seed would actually to scale what actually works for us. So we need to increase the number of accounts that we are having, the number of activities that we are doing for ourselves. So the main goal for that would be actually for us to scale. We have a little bit of product that needs to get done, like the email, the phone. WhatsApp will be the easiest way to open a larger TAM, basically, because you mentioned it yourself, right? Out of the 10,000 people you need to reach, maybe 8,000 of them are not on LinkedIn. So we need to reach them through other channels. And that's what we will be able to do with the funding to improve the agent capabilities, other channel, and ensure that we are multi-channel and be able to communicate through the preferred channel of the lead.
I mean, you're one of many agents that we're seeing that are solving very specific business cases, and there's a number of different sales products that we're invested in also doing. How fast is this developing in your view, and how do you see this enterprise agent space evolving over the next 3-5 years?
Wow, that's a tough question.
It is, but I think you probably know. Oh, you have an opinion because you're playing the space, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we see the change is going extremely fast. Like from months, I say like 4 months to 6 months, we see new trends appearing, new challenges that we need to face, and so on. So the space is moving extremely fast, especially like SalesMind is in a competitive landscape. The sales industry is really big, and the time is just enormous, right? Like 57 billion has been spent in sales and marketing tool last year.
Yeah.
But people still have an empty CRM. So in the next 3 to 5 years, where I see that the sales agent will have the most impact will be, and at least the vision that we are having at SalesMind will actually make the funnel, the entire sales funnel, entirely personalized. So it means the first message is personalized, the reply is personalized, the seat that you're seeing is personalized, and the interaction you have with the AI live avatar is personalized to you only and your specific need. Because you don't have time to spend 10 minutes on a website and on the person profile to try understanding what is the offer, what is the value, what is the benefit, and so on. We just need to show you what matters to you now.
How hard would it be for me to prompt GPT plus connect it to my LinkedIn and my Dropbox and my sales kit to say, do what SalesMind does? And is that a threat to you?
It is not. It is not a threat for us because you can eventually do it for one of your accounts, but can you reliably do it for 100 accounts of LinkedIn or 100 email? So this is the use case that we solve for agency, and that actually a great moment for us to switch. If you notice that ChatGPT could actually do that, I'm not entirely sure they will allow you to connect with LinkedIn itself directly to do what we do. But eventually that we don't see that as a threat because one person that is trying to automate his own profile is not entirely the audience that we are looking for. So you can do it by yourself. You can play if you're a builder and you like it, and I know you like it, right? You're in the same space. You have a sparkling mind and a beauty and great hand to build a product. So I believe you can do that. But again, it depends of where is your focus. Is your focus on building things to make the sales a little bit better, or just acquiring?
I wasn't picking on SalesMind necessarily, Julian, because a GPT or a Perplexity are obviously they're all launching or have launch agents, right? I was playing with Perplexity Labs this week, and it's not as good as Menace or GenSpark. So my question is less on salesman, but really how these LLM tools that are evolving into agents and making it easier. There's always that danger of them disrupting, especially a successful company like yours, right? So I'm just curious how you think about that and how you defend against that.
The way how we think about that and we defend about that is by the number and the scaling capabilities that we have. I think if tomorrow OpenAI is launching a system for replying your email, yes, you will be able to do it for yourself. That works. But for the entire set of clients that agency have, or making it easy for the entire company to actually integrate that, I think it will be a little bit more challenging over the coming years. But that's only the very first top of the funnel, right? Where you build a little bit of sparkling. So where we see that SalesMind will have a very big advantage will be to actually have adaptive microsite, where again, the messages is only a door for you to go to the next step in the sales funnel and having a way more personalized experience from that. So we're not just sending messages on LinkedIn, we're just like moving the lead in the funnel and moving it down and qualifying it. So OpenAI will be able to send the messages, but will it be able to make it move in the funnel? Good question. I hope no. But if they do, it's going to be something different in that case.
Yeah, I think that's probably as good an answer as we can give at this point. It's moving so fast. A geopolitical question. And I don't know enough about your tech stack, but China obviously is leading with it's primarily open source, right? How do you see the use case of China versus US technologies?
Great question. We see that the models have different strengths, each of them for different use case. So we leverage, I think, 5 or 6 different ones currently for all the process that we have. So the qualification, identification, matching, and so on. Now the competition between both, I have no idea. I love China so much, so I have bias in the balance.
It's also a lot cheaper, right?
Yes. Yes, and extremely good, right? The reasoning model are amazing. So I would say it is really surprising that I've been able to release the model that fast eventually. But we know China is really leading the innovation. So I'm really confident that in the next few years, it's going to be everywhere. I was in China a few weeks ago, and actually I see that now in Baidu Map, they're integrated DeepSeek. So when you go on a business profile like Google Business, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can find the time when they open, the address, and so on, and you can like take DeepSeek to actually answer the question from there. So I think what are the big advantage China have in the race is they have one pass only. So if they decide to put DeepSeek in all Baidu, it will be instant. If they want to put that in WeChat, 1.5 billion people will have access to AI right away, right now. So the adoption rate will be incredible from them.
I have a question about enterprise adoption. I put it in my initial Q&A list for you. We're spending some time with enterprises, and it's different than what you and I built at the startup world. It seems larger companies, a lot of them see the value of enterprise agents, right? But the issue of governance and ethics, privacy and security, those are major issues to be solved, right? Are you talking to enterprises that are thinking about, let's say, deploying SalesMind or similar agents, and how are they resolving these major issues that, frankly, is very new, right? Like, if you want to deploy a SalesMind and plug it into a enterprise's database, what if the agent goes haywire, hallucinates, or agent decides to steal your data or whatever, right? Have you come across this issue? I'm just curious. It's top of mind.
Yeah. We do have enterprises client actually, and the way how they manage that was funny because I got in touch with them but the sales process is just so much longer. Right? I think we started with one pilot, one person, and then one team, 10 people, and now like 80 or 90 people in the company for the sales. But what's changed is they replaced the people that were like manually sending the outreach, because that was the job of 15 people actually to go on LinkedIn, try to understand what the person is doing, try to qualify the lead based on the information they have, start a message, put the lead in the Google Sheet, and then report the Google Sheet at the end of the day. So the guy was like sending not even 30 connections today. So they had like basically a bunch of people doing that. Now those people have been that team have been reduced. So I guess those people now have other attribution and higher responsibility. Now what happened is they have validator. So each time they come up with a new agent, with a new campaign, with a new mission, and so on, they have someone that is validating the quality of the AI understanding and fine tune if needed, because we give you access to everything. We let you handle the modification if the AI hallucinates a little bit, or if it's not entirely correct, or the way you will promote it yourself. So they have someone that is controlling that, but one person is enough for the entire company.
Gotcha. So Gary Tan, who's the Y Combinator, I think a few months ago said in the latest batch of YC companies, he surveyed the CEOs, and they said that I think he mentioned like 90% of the YC latest batch are using agents to build software, right? So instead of having 10 devs, they've got maybe eight, like 2 or 3, and using agents. Really, if you think about that, it really is what I mean. YC is selectively finding entrepreneurs that are using agents to build software, right? And so this is really the whole idea of a lean startup, and we had a newsletter that talks about that. So, how do you see that? And are you guys AI native as well?
Yes, definitely. This is one of the first things that we do when we onboard people. We give them a ChatGPT Plus account and a Cursor account, so that we ensure that they have at least the basic tool to do what they need to do. We actually migrate one part of the application that could have taken weeks before with Codex this week. So we leveraging significantly the AI. We have training internally about one champion that have identified the right tool and the right capability of the tool and the right use case. So he's leading the adoption within the company and within the other developers. So we have like someone that is finding the way and showing the way for the other collaborator to actually leverage AI more in the code. But I've been extremely surprised, like Codex now is able to send PR basically for you. You're just giving a task and it sends PR on GitHub.
Do you guys have a goal? Are you guys going to go to 2 million per employee?
My team
And
was
make
joking about we can replace our people with Codex. What I believe is we're gonna have to keep the people and just make them 10 times more productive. So I don't think having a small team of 20 people will help us, because eventually we need to build a lot of different use cases. But I wish the team that I have now is able to help themselves with AI to get the 10 times more productive. I think we're not at the 10x yet, but we're working on that. So if
Gotcha.
a Gamma is 1 million per employee, that may be the next our goal.
What my takeaway with this conversation is it doesn't really matter from a client standpoint whether you're using DeepSeek or using this tech set. What matters is that you're specifically solving a problem. And the problem is you've trained an AI to essentially learn the product or the service, and you've now very smartly integrated into LinkedIn, which is, as you said, is 1 billion people. So you'll find a lot of clients there, and you're now, at least in SalesMind's eat your own dog food, you're acquiring new customers at $9 per client. I would argue um, it's cheaper than that, in the sense that if we didn't have SalesMind and you're having people call, right? The amount of time that you spend training or retraining salespeople, turnover, and management time is that usually isn't really boxed in. So if I were to compare using SalesMind to do a sales lead versus the traditional way, it's a massive factor of cost and time. Would you say that's, and I haven't done that, but it just seems to me it's a lot more intuitive because once you train it, it scales up so much quicker, right? And it gets smarter, especially with the memory piece. Yeah. So to me, the $9 is a fantastic number, but compared to do it traditional way, I'm sure if you box all that in, it's actually, I think, a much more a higher multiple of productivity. I didn't say that very clearly. Hopefully that makes sense to you, and maybe you can comment on that.
Yeah, that make a lot of sense. What we see as an average in the B2B industry is a lead cost $200 to $250 as the cost
Wow,
of acquisition,
wow,
right?
wow.
With SalesMind, because we are using our own solution, we've done like $9. So it's significantly lower. Like we could not achieve that with any other way, I believe.
Great, great. Okay, hey Julian, Saturday morning. I'm sure you've got lots of things to do. Do you want to tell us how the audience can reach you or SalesMind?
Yes, fairly simple on LinkedIn. We are super visible. We're creating more content about AI in sales, and we're really evangelists about how AI can make the businesses 10 times more productive, same as you, I guess. So LinkedIn will be the best way. Julian Gadea on SalesMind or SalesMind on LinkedIn, sorry, or SalesMind on LinkedIn, and it will be very easy to find us.
Fantastic. Well, hey, thank you so much. Maybe we can get you back on in a few months to see how you guys are growing and
Sound
see the
amazing.
yeah, yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, Julian.